Welcome back, my X-Fam, to another video chapter of Reincarnation Coliseum. Chapter 18 has just been released, and it continues with the tag team battle between Mikagami and Mary versus Musashi and Suzu. Both Desmos and Luna look on from their seats to see how this will end for everyone involved. Luna begins to think to herself that it does not matter how skilled Mary and Mikagami are, their struggles will come to an end when fighting against these two monsters that have been on the battlefield and have slain 500 individuals. Now, the deal was that if Mikagami loses, then Luna gets the number 2 seat, which is currently being held by Zayd. This is when the chapter goes into a flashback from a month ago before this event and after the fight with Fine Catastrophe. This is where she is confronted by the nobles after that match, who have lost their money. They can't believe that betting against Mikagami has resulted in nothing but losses, and they blame Desmos' secretary for assuring them that Fine could win. This irritates Desmos as she gets up and informs him that there is no way her secretary would say something like that. It makes it seem like things are being rigged in a way, if you get what I'm saying. So the secretary explains what she meant when they placed their bets, and Desmos questions if that really is the case. Moving on with the conversation, she sits back down on her throne and understands why the nobles are upset about losing their money. She goes on to say that Zayd has lost all of her heavenly kings and has not been able to return for a while, so she's slowly recovering because she's just at a loss right now. There's not much Zayd can do. And this is much to the displeasure of the nobles until Desmos asks if there is anyone left that can challenge Mikagami at this point. The nobles are kind of puzzled and some are even shocked hearing this, but that's when Desmos proposes a tag team battle for Mikagami and his slave of choice versus whoever they choose. Not only will it be compensated, but the winner will get an exclusive sponsorship with management and Zayd's seat at the Coliseum as well. Now everyone's interest is piqued because the opportunity is there, and then that's when all this greedy aura engulfs the room and everyone's looking at each other like, I can get all this stuff if I compete and I can beat Mikagami. This is when a noble's daughter by the name of Luna approaches Desmos and informs her that she just now turned 15. She proposes taking on Mikagami and the ex-Heavenly Kings in her Coliseum debut. As she thinks about how she always admired Zayd and Desmos for being strong women, her life led her to seizing this opportunity. She worked her way up as a noble, coming upon both Musashi and Suzu in the slave market, and finally seeing a seat at the Coliseum up for grabs. Desmos compliments her for taking the step no one else dared to do as things shift back to the Coliseum, with Luna cheering for Musashi and Suzu to win. Musashi hears her and is annoyed as he continues his battle with Mary. In the midst of the fight, he remembers his vow to take Suzu as his wife after the battle ends, and that's when we get another flashback of both Musashi and Suzu in their homeland. He explains to the girl named Rin at the time that the war ended once the country was unified. There is no longer a place for people with battle exploits, and he's not seeking further promotion. Therefore, he will journey outside the homeland, where he will achieve great feats without complaints from the family. As he proposes the idea to Rin, she is baffled until he asks her to come with him. It catches her off guard because she doesn't understand why her, until he tells her that she is the only one he can count on. He pulls out a mask and she humbly accepts. This pretty much was the beginning of their relationship, I guess you could say. Maybe not even their relation, but how Rin, now named Suzu, sees it as okay, he really trusts me and he's doing this for the both of us. Now, he was already thinking of fake names to use as he gets creative with their current names by making them similar to the ones from the 100 memoirs. The panels then shift back to the Coliseum and we get more Musashi's thoughts during the battle. Though he is in love with Suzu, or Rin if you want to call her that, marrying a kunoichi is forbidden. Samurai and kunoichi just can't get married for whatever reason. I don't know the whole situation with that. It's probably like a samurai code or something. But He thinks that achieving great battle feats can lead to being the head of the family and a chance for changing that. However, he also thinks that by gifting Mary as a slave to his grandfather will also be fine without complaints. Musashi once again loudly proclaims his intentions to marry Suzu, as we now head to the Mikigami and Suzu side of things, with him setting her clone on fire. The crowd is getting restless from seeing the same old tricks from them and look to find something more entertaining, but Suzu analyzes the situation a bit more and creates a shadow clone to go at him again. Mikigami notices the clone and also sees Mary over there struggling with Musashi. He's conflicted with thinking about her pride as he creates a shadow clone to go at Suzu. The clone fails to reach Suzu as Mikigami is knocked back from being stabbed. As Suzu once again states that he is very weak, Mikigami taunts her, claims that love that she has for Musashi may not even be real, and this just infuriates her. The panels head back into the past some days after Musashi and Suzu's plan takes place. They go over how they finally crossed the border, so no pursuers from the mainland should be after them. The older brother will likely be in panic over things as Suzu pours Musashi some sake. As they enjoy each other's company, Suzu strips down and tells Musashi that it's been 10 days since he last held a woman in his arms. Though she claims her body is not the greatest, which is not true, and I wish I could show this entire panel to you all. But, you know, YouTube is what YouTube is. She knows no other way to express herself to him. A perplexed Musashi then covers her up and tells her that now is not the time for this and this should be set aside for something important, so maybe after a celebration of sorts. And, you know, as I just told you, Musashi wants to marry Suzu, so that's probably what he was thinking during this time back in the day, and this was leading up to this moment, the Coliseum and everything. So Suzu now looks on with sadness as he begins walking away and doing his own thing, blaming herself for trying to imitate what she has seen, but the way that she came on to him was a little too aggressive for him, I guess. I don't know. She just didn't get him like she thought she got him, and it just made her look like a prostitute, which is kind of normal now. I mean, you got like slave markets and all that stuff going on, but you know, this only like gets her sad, and now her sadness only deepens as she tearfully thinks to herself that she was told that she was the one back in the day, that she carefully watched Musashi train all those years ago, and Musashi had chosen her, but now everything is just so wrong. And you know, as it gets deeper and deeper into her darkness, the panel switched back to the Coliseum of Mikigami getting his clone split in two from Suzu's kick. Everyone looks on, terrified, realizing that Suzu has lost all reason and looks to kill Mikigami for real this time. So that was chapter 18, and we got pretty much a lot of information just from chapter 18. It gave us the backstory on Luna, Musashi, and Suzu. Based on the Eastern continent being unified, Musashi decided to leave. That's pretty much what I got. And he took Rin, now named Suzu, with him. And they've been on this, like, I guess this quest to do all kinds of things and be known around the world. And they've taken up the, you know, legend names from the 100 memoirs, which is pretty exciting in its own way. But my thing is, they really did all this to like be in the Coliseum as well, and it's crazy. It's crazy how this information came back. But what's even crazier is that Suzu is now acting on emotions, and we know Mikigami likes to push people's buttons, and this time I think he like pushed it like way beyond that. Like, we seen him push Mary's buttons, Marl's buttons, Alice buttons, Catastrophe's buttons, and it just like led to defeat. So this is normal play-by-play for Mikigami. I look forward to his plan, because I don't think that shadow clone is going to work anymore if she's really serious. She's only made just like one shadow clone, but who's to say she can't make more? And we know Mikigami can really make a legit shadow clone that's just like him, so it's really hard to tell unless you really like eliminate it. But we don't know yet. We don't know yet, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video as much as I did reading it to you all. Smash that like button. Leave feedback in the comment section below. If you have any questions or anything like that, do leave them there as well. I will try to respond as soon as possible. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already with notice turned on. Follow on socials for more stuff besides YouTube. You know, I like to talk about all kinds of stuff. It just depends on what it is. I'm chill online. It is. With that being said, until next time, keep grinding my X fam and stay wavy. I'm out of here.